Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of My Community. And I'm here with my former client and now, of course, my friend, Marisela Salas. Maricela, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. I'm glad to have you. Maricela, before we get into today's topic, which of course is hobbies, because I know you're a very passionate individual about the creative expression and things you do outside of work and even inside of work.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Maricela. I am a 22-year-old worker at the store Build-A-Bear, as well as being a artist on the side, and I also create keychains and other sorts of accessories on a shop called Sail Into Life Shop, and it's on the website. But it's really cool because I do a lot of that's my notification, but
No, it's great.
like as far as like things go, I do a lot of creative arts. I'm actually trying to go to college um for not just animation, but also so I can make my own soundtracks and music and stuff. And also I want to pursue voice acting. I want to get into like audio engineering too, because that's someone that I look up to actually does that, which I'll get into later. And I thought that would
Yeah,
be really cool.
yeah, absolutely, and that kind of all ties into what we're going to talk about because today's topic, as you briefly mentioned, it is your hobbies and your special interests and kind of
Yeah.
what you want to pursue. So, Maricela, now the floor is yours. I'm here to guide you. Take it away.
So a little bit about like my background and what I do. I do anime art. I do like art like specifically tied to the Japanese animation genre. I make a lot of like different things. I've dabbled in like different mediums, different genres, different styles. I've definitely my favorite genre has to be definitely just like anime art because I a lot of animators I look up to are definitely for example, I really like animations from like Studio Mappa, which made Attack on Titan, all that stuff. I also like animations, like also indie animation, like Murder Drones, which is on YouTube, and all that stuff is really good. Indie animation is probably like the pinnacle of what's going to come out of animation itself, and it's probably going to make the entire genre really big because like shows like Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss and all that stuff is very big in the genre, and it's kind of contributing to why I wanted to study animation. Um, I actually am trying to connect with a few voice actors, um, to like and a director about like making a movie too. It's a movie about like to, to explain it. The movie is about how I explain it properly. It's about it's like an autobiography sort of, but it's like more like fantasy based. Like it's more like based on video games and stuff. Like it had kind of like a Scott Pilgrim thing, but except it's actually based on sort of a true story. But I left out all like the really bad parts in my autobiography because it had to. I want people to know that I'm like fun loving and that I have all sorts of all sorts of personality traits that everybody that I've ever met like about me. And I have a lot of friends to like go to conventions with and stuff to be able to like promote my like friendship skills.
Mhm.
But like as far as like the back to the movie's basically about this girl named Hannah. It's Hana, Japanese spelling. And she basically is an autistic 22-year-old navigating high functioning autism as well as or high or low support autism as some may call it. And also she navigates being confused about love and all sorts of things that normally autistic people struggle with. It's also kind of like it has like a Scott Pilgrim kind of element where she like fights bosses and stuff like in a video game, which I thought would be really cool because I like Scott Pilgrim. That's one of my favorite movies, especially favorite shows in anime. And I read the comic book as well. As far as like the movie goes, it's probably going to be like I don't want it to be a short film. I want it to be feature length because this would be my first time writing it. I have a book ready to start the script. I just have to get on the script as soon as possible as I procrastinate on projects sometimes, which I'm trying to work on. That's just because like I get very busy and I work, so that's probably why I'm not able to do much as I have been now. But and that like other things too is that a lot of the people I'm trying to interact with are mainly people for this like to help me with this movie. And the issue is, the only issue I have with making the movie is that I can't crowdfund due to some other issues in the way. But like I want to try to like have someone help me out with that so I can be able to raise money for the movie, make merch and all that stuff because I really like to have some sort of like promotion for the movie and get people to want to watch it. Because this is a movie that this is something I've never done before. I've never written like a full-on script and made it like through this whole script. Um, it's like it's very hard to do that because in this day and age, anybody can make a movie, anybody can do anything. But I want my movie to get attention from all the right kinds of people and make sure that people feel inspired, not just people with disabilities, but everybody who's knows somebody with disability or doesn't understand. I want them to understand as closely as they can so they know that people with disabilities aren't that different than you and I. We're all the different cases and we all have different ways of doing things, definitely.
That's beautiful, Maricela, and I think that's really important because a lot of what we do through creative expression is try to get out like our innermost thoughts, innermost feelings, right?
Yes. Yes.
And obviously, for you, one of your innermost thoughts, innermost feelings is to inspire, to resonate, to make positive change, as it were. Those are all fantastic aspirations, and I hope against hope your movie gets made and it does everything that you want it to do. Because when it comes to creativity, I think it's such an important outlet because it helps us be who we want to be, really. Because a lot of what we do on the day to day is just like kind of mundane activities and so on and so forth. But when we're doing our creative expression, so to speak, it's the stuff that makes us us.
Yes. And I feel like even the mundane could be strenuous for anybody because sometimes it really like degrades like your mental health sometimes and sometimes you need a break. And that's why I think when I get creative, it really helps me boost my mood and it makes you take out anger or like feelings that I don't want to present at the moment. I think it's definitely something that as a creator is I struggle with. Sometimes there's times where I won't put emotion into my artwork unless I want to because I feel like I'm afraid to show that emotion because part of the disability is that emotions are kind of hard to navigate and that's why I'm afraid to like show them too much or show like a bad side of me. But I know people will try to help me out as best I can to help me with that. And that's something that I definitely think would be good for this movie, definitely.
What is the movie called? Do you have a name yet? Or
So it's called Hannah's 8-Bit Expedition.
I like it.
Didn't want to say adventure because adventure kind of beating a dead horse.
That's very cool. That I like the Scott Pilgrim influence. I like the personal spin on it. That's a very nice touch.
Yeah, instead of 7 evil exes, we have 7 evil corporate people, I guess. I also want like a take on like real life issues too. Like for instance, how definitely corporate things can get in the way of like your job or like your life or something. Definitely is a good idea because I want that to be incorporated to let people know they're not alone in their struggles.
Sure. You want it to be personable in the fact that, like, for example, if you're making 7 corporate bosses, how like corporations could take away from your time with your family or something like that, or maybe time to yourself, or even maybe time for creative expression. Like a lot of the corporate monsters or juggernauts, as it were, don't like the creative expression that much.
Yes.
They kind of shut it down a little bit, in my opinion.
And yeah, and then one thing that definitely makes corporate bosses the villains in this story would definitely be the use of AI against artists and stuff, because AI is a very big platform that can possibly deframe, like decentralize or like damage our entire ecosystem of jobs. As you can see, jobs are being taken by AI, and I feel like as an artist, I don't want my job to be taken. But fortunately enough, jobs with like AI art is not as good as like a human making it because there's no emotion behind it. So humans are more likely to go towards regular art, even though there's people I see on Etsy and stuff paying money for AI art, which I don't really like because I'm like, why? I was guilty of that too. I accidentally bought like pieces that like had AI and I couldn't even tell, and I was very ashamed. Nowadays, I usually buy from like local artists or like artists that actually I can support that make their own artwork, not nobody that does AI. Because I use Chat GPT, but only for when it's complete, there's no answer for like the thing I'm looking for, like something niche or something.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that statement in the fact that AI is obviously changing the creative landscape tenfold, right? Like as a creative myself, I do wonder what the kind of like end game is for stuff like this. Obviously, it's about taking jobs and like transforming the landscape, so to speak. But as a creative, especially like AI changing the automation of creativity, it just seems like a flat out inhuman. Honestly, it doesn't seem natural in any stretch.
Well, what I agree with when it comes to AI is that you can work with it, but not with creative fields. I think AI can be used for like fields like engineering, technology, because that would be more useful because a lot of people get hurt in those types of jobs, like industrial jobs, because it can be very dangerous in those conditions. But when it comes to art itself and creative means, like writing books, I've seen people make covers for their books with AI. I don't like it. And I think
Mm.
it's something that could be probably like I think what they should start doing is putting regulations on that type of stuff because like a win for the art community and creative community is that they started they don't allow or they prohibit AI art from being copyrighted, which is a win for us, not for
Mm.
them. Because you can't make money off of it because even the ones I bought I did not know was AI because at the time I didn't look at it
Mhm.
and I didn't see like the details until people started telling me. I think one of the things that I have to do is redesign those characters now and make them my own. Sometimes I even steal AI characters because you can't copyright them. You can do that. It's legal, so it's ethical. So someone told me that's definitely ethical. But
So, uh, getting back into our setup though, because we could go down the AI rabbit hole for
yeah, we could.
um, tell me more about um, your what's it called? Sorry, that's my marketer just texted me. Tell me more about your hobby with the conventions, Maricela.
So that's a big thing because I just went to one in April and I was dressed up as Vaggie from Hazbin Hotel. So when I come to conventions, I usually dress up in costume. I had just bought one that was like $76. That was expensive. My mom had to get it for me because even though I'm 22, sometimes I'm not able to afford certain things as a part-time worker, but definitely I do enjoy my job besides that. But anyways, as far as like the conventions go, usually I always go in cosplay, which is like costumes for like anime, any like type of show. If some of you don't know what cosplay is, pretty sure most of you will know. But like I'm dressing up as Bernice Whita from Zenless Zone Zero at Anime NYC. I definitely want people to be able to like see me at these conventions to be able to like connect with me about like voice acting, about anything like media related. Because next year I may or may not be going as a professional once I start college. What I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be trying to do like content creation with TikTok and stuff, if TikTok doesn't get banned. But yeah, I want to definitely try to work on like content creation, making cosplay shorts and stuff, making funny things. As long as I make sure that I have the right audience for it and nobody gets like super offended. I don't want people to get offended by stuff like, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, this is stupid" on TikTok. Like, though, like people on TikTok and Twitter are always like something like that. So you know how they are. But
Right.
definitely something I want to do is like make content creation, like get at least 10,000 followers by the time it's next August, and also work on my demo reel for voice acting, which I'm going to be uploading to YouTube in the next couple weeks before I go to my Disney trip, which I'll explain later. Yeah, that's another hobby of mine. Definitely, like conventions are very big for like, especially anime conventions. They're very big for media. They're big for animation, art, anything you can imagine. The only conventions I don't really go to anymore are comic conventions because I've had a not so great experience with like crowds and like weird people. So I'm trying to avoid like going to something like that like again, just because they attract more people that I'm not really a fan of. Like I like comic conventions, but like there's just a lot of like creative differences. Sometimes they get mad if there's an anime fan there. Sometimes it's very
Fanboys.
fanboys, or they get weird, Especially as a woman, you can't go anywhere as a woman in those conventions.
Fair.
Yeah, but
Well,
like anime conventions are definitely better for like if you want to make friends and be able to interact with people your own size, as I would say. Because
nice.
um there's some people I'm trying to get in contact with about about meeting at a convention so we can network and stuff and be able to have like creative conversations and be able to get to know each other and at least have friends in the media because my mother is also a media um worker. She's very um like senior level, and I think that's something that I want to try towards too when I get into animation because she's my inspiration for doing a lot of things media wise, and she actually was the one that introduced me to animation growing up. I was very big into like shows like SpongeBob was my favorite. So of all time, I love the memes. I love everything. I also like Little Einsteins, and then I started growing up watching anime at 8, even though my parents didn't really want me to watch at 8 years old. When I started turning like around like 12, I started getting into a webcomic called Homestuck, which I cosplayed as Terezi Paropa from the webcomic. That was my first introduction to cosplay. Then I was Princess Celestia. My Little Pony definitely got me into like cosplay and like costumes, and so did Homestuck. Although we won't talk about the Sharpie bath that they did. That's a real thing. It may be a myth, but we don't know. But like as like cosplay is definitely like something I enjoy. I'm trying to get into doing better at making my own cosplay. And at that same time, while I was in the cosplay community and getting into anime, I also happened to get into the fandom. Some of you might be divided on it, some of you may not. I'm in the furry community as like a observer because I haven't gotten a fursuit yet and I want to be able to get into that more. But a lot of people there I have friends that are furries that are super nice that also go to anime cons and do cosplay as well. You don't have to be you don't have to have a fursuit to be a furry, but I would like one because think they're just so cute. But I have to make a reference for the one I'm getting a new persona. I think today it's like $10 worth because I have to update the reference sheet and stuff. But like also like with my cosplay journey, I continued making costumes. I think my latest costume was Uzi Dorman, and then I was bought my most recent cosplay was what's it called now? I can't remember what it was. Baggy from Hazbin Hotel, and I bought my Bernice costume. I just bought the wig today. The next convention I'm planning on going to is Anime NYC. If anybody wants to see me, I'm the Bernice. I'm the tan Bernice White. If you can't tell which one is, if you don't know which Bernice I am, there's gonna be a lot there. There's a lot because Bernice is a very popular character, especially since her music video for Den Zone Zero was very popular and it gained like millions of views. Like it was almost as popular as Gangnam Style at that time. It was literally Gangnam Style for anime. But like cosplay is that's like definitely one of my favorite things to do. I'm starting to buy my cosplays now, but the next cosplay I'm doing is probably going to be made. I think the one thing I want to do, like I have a cosplay journal of cosplays I want to do in the future, as long as I save up my money to buy the materials. Like one was like Aina from Dream Barbecue. I wanted to be Squirrel Girl from Marvel Rivals. That's actually one of my favorite costumes I want to get because I want to buy that one. I also have other costumes in my drawer that some of them I'm gonna have to sell because I don't fit them anymore because, as you get older, you change. But I know that is so funny with the way I said it. But like, yeah, I have like thousands of like ideas for like what I want to do. I have wigs at home. I have to start brushing my wigs though. They get so tangled. Like everybody tells me like there's this one like the Miku wigs, like the Hatsune Miku wigs always get tangled. I see why they mean what they mean by why wigs get tangled. I have one on the wig stand right now. It's doing pretty well, but I'm gonna have to work on making sure I style my costumes and all that stuff because I'm just now learning to do my hair. It's in braids right now, but I think definitely styling a wig and doing wig styling and like cutting and trimming and all that stuff and like teasing is definitely good for as well as doing my hair. But although the hair texture isn't the same as my hair because I have very curly hair, I'm a person of color, so it's very hard to like do my hair properly. That's that's like another one of my hobbies. It's like beauty, makeup. I like taking care of myself, but I don't wear makeup too often because my skin is sensitive. And like I know with like you have people that you know that wear makeup all the time, right? Or like to doll themselves up.
Uh, Not really. Like my wife, for example, she doesn't really wear makeup. So like I don't know that's the only person that I would care about that would wear makeup.
Yeah,
So
I will say a lot of like people in like especially like for my family, my family is from like Puerto Rico and Panama. They like to wear makeup all the time or perfume, and that's like,
hmm.
wow, that's a lot of makeup. Like sometimes they cake it on. I don't know if it's like the beauty standards in Latin America are like different from where we are, but a lot of women in the Hispanic community I see wear makeup a lot, and I see why because you want to look as pretty and presentable as possible, and they're also very strict about like certain like I don't know how to say it. They're strict about like their routines and stuff. So a lot of them don't have acne. I unfortunately do because I'm mixed, so it's kind of hard. It's like I also have a lot of like stress, so it causes me to get acne a lot. But like definitely something also, my mother doesn't really wear makeup unless she's going out to special events. A lot of my family does wear makeup, but they don't wear it unless it's like a really special occasion. Like for the wedding, my mom was dolled up. She was all nice and stuff. She looked very pretty. You have to be for a wedding. Sometimes you don't, but sometimes you do. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, you would know that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right. So we covered your movie project. We covered the what's it called? The conventions. Now we got voice acting to wrap it all up. Go into your voice acting, Maricela.
All right, so voice acting is definitely something that I want to pursue because I thought because I see a lot of the people that I follow do voice acting or like creative like media stuff, and media is definitely good for like money, and a lot of people earn money off of like voice acting or acting. Like right now, a lot of people are struggling with getting jobs in voice acting because of the SAG-AFTRA strike, which yes, I'm for unions, but I feel like a lot of the handling of like strikes and stuff like this, like at SAG-AFTRA, is very hard to like stand by because there was a lot of there's a lot of refusals to work and stuff, which I'm a little concerned about because that's why I want to be non-union. But like a lot of the people I follow are non-union voice actors. They usually are very good and they do really well. I have a friend that's a voice actor. I'm also trying to, there's two people I know that I want to get into contact with that are really good voice actors and seem like we get along really well. One's called Ty Osborne or Ty Does Voices, whatever you want to call him. Then the other one's Gabriel Lennon or Silver Slip VA. I follow Gabriel on on YouTube not YouTube, somewhere else. I think I can't remember where he's at, but um, like I heard that they're both really good voice actors. I think they're friends. I'm not sure if they're still friends now, but Ty is someone I actually look up to a lot because he's one of my inspirations for getting into voice acting and for getting into audio engineering. Because I like tampering with sounds. I like making voices. Like he one of his things is that he used to make voices for when he was a child. Funny thing, I used to do all sorts of singing songs and voices and stuff because not just because like I thought it was fun, but also because like I have vocal stems. So like as an autistic person, sometimes I stim vocally, and that's like the only stim I can do because I don't really like flap my hands or anything. So that's how I take out my like stimulation sometimes. Or when I see like my brother or a cat, I just say "city fitty," and there you go. Because cats sit and they fit. So I like saying city fitties and all that stuff, and it's very funny because we had cats, and I loved calling them city fitties and calling Benny Sal because he used to sow the seeds of hatred because he was a very spiteful cat, but we loved him because he used to tear up the couch. But like with voice acting, it's very difficult to like I know something I watched with a podcast from the Kentucky Colonel because I watched one of Ty's podcast videos. He apparently said that one of the things you don't want to do is drink milk. I drink milk, unfortunately, and I shouldn't be. Like even lactate counts because the milk can make your like mouth click and stuff, and like as well as definitely you can't do peanut butter. You can't do anything that's gonna make your mouth sticky or wet. So like,
Yeah, they used to
and
have a lot of apples and stuff like that, right?
yeah, I wouldn't have been able to have apples before because I had braces as late as 21 years old. But like definitely like you want water too. Water's good for your voice. You want something that can warm up your vocal cords too.
Mhm.
And you gotta do vocal warm-ups as well. That's something you definitely have to like strive towards. Like
Absolutely.
you can't do like I sing a lot. I do a lot of singing and karaoke and stuff. I used to be bad at singing, but now I wasn't a bad singer. I'm pretty average, but like right now I think I'm at a pretty good level with like my singing voice and stuff. I just need to practice more because another inspiration of mine is my cousin Dominique taught me how to she taught me how to like sing and do karaoke and stuff. She actually introduced me to like karaoke, I feel like. And one of my favorite things was singing with her and doing like different songs like Sing King on YouTube. And I noticed that my voice has gotten a little bit better since a little bit better, not like too much. Like it's very nasally. I'm
Mhm.
trying to sing from my throat and my chest. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's something I gotta work on. But
Mhm.
definitely, I do enjoy like singing and stuff that helps me warm up my voice for when I'm actually have a performance because I used to sing in school too. But like, I think one thing I definitely want to do when it comes to voice acting is definitely do like anime. I want to try to like be on English dubs and whatnot. Like one of the animes I really want to be on, like two projects I want to be on, the Mandela Catalog and um, I want to be on if I had to choose an anime to be on, I would definitely choose Black Clover because I like Black Clover a lot and it's a very good anime. I like magic stuff, so yeah, because I appreciate magic. I think it's real. So Santa's real. Santa's real. I guess thinks everybody's real. Everybody's real. Even the
That's
Queen of
right.
England. Even the
Uh,
Queen of England. Well, actually, not anymore.
oh
Ooh,
man.
don't be mad, British people, please, please.
But all right, that's all fantastic, Maricela. I love that you're so passionate about your creative expression. Again, whether it be your projects or your your costumes or your voice acting or your singing. I mean, you have so many creative out expression. I don't know why I'm struggling today. Creative, creative stuff that you use to,
Outlets.
yes, creative outlets. Thank you,
Yeah.
Maricela,
Hmm.
to help you navigate the circles of life, so to speak, and that's a truly beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I just before I wrap up today, I wanted to ask if you have anything you want to say to the audience
Yeah.
as a closing remark.
Yeah, so like a couple closing remarks. It'll be quick. I'm gonna be at Anime NYC. I'm gonna be at dressed as Bernice. I'm gonna have like a styled wig and everything. And I'm like tan and wear glasses, so you'll probably recognize me out of the crowd. I'm short. I'm 5'4". So if anybody wants to see me at the convention, I'm more than well open to connecting with anybody about like voice acting or any opportunities like that. And as far as um other stuff goes, I also have like a toy house too. I have toy house, I have YouTube. I'm gonna be uploading more on YouTube. My YouTube is Sapphire Vigil. And be on the lookout for more videos. I'm probably gonna do a video on like cosplay in the community and whatnot and get into that this week or so. So yeah, I'm happy to be on the podcast. I'll definitely try to do more content for you guys to see, and I hope I get to be a part of this again.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for being here, Maricela.
Of course.
And next time on the podcast, we ride dragons.